The longer you find yourself residing in a vibrational environment, the more that environment becomes your truth. So, in other words, if you find yourself in a constant state of frequency, whatever that is formulating a specific vibrational environment, an atmosphere, an energy field, and so on. The longer you stay there, the more that realm, that dimension becomes your truth. See, the inherent dilemma with human beings is such that they refuse to change. They don't see the need to change. They don't feel that there's anything wrong with them. As I've said before, an individual must recognize a necessity within themselves for change, or change will never arrive. Now, really analyze what I just said, because they don't feel that there's something wrong with them, or there's something needs to be modified, or repaired or replaced, or they don't need to work on anything. They're perfectly fine. It's not me, it's you. I mean, that type of thing. That old, staunch, steadfast, cemented, archaic mentality. So what happens is, when they find themselves in a specific vibrational environment and atmosphere, that's all they know, because there isn't anything else as far as they're concerned. Their perceptive lens won't allow them to believe it. So therefore, their belief systems will only go to enforce the only place that they know, and reinforce and fortify that like a fortress of solitude. That's where you get these very archaic, antiquated, Stone Age type of mentalities. Very stilted in their beliefs, like this is the only way, my way, the highway, that type of thing. So the longer they stay in that place, the more it becomes their truth. And then after a while, it becomes the only truth. And then after that, it just becomes, without question, indubitable that this is it. So this is what happens with regards to you being born to this world, unconsciously being slipped into a vibrational environment that you wake up and go, and they're not going to show you anything else, because there's no windows in this place. There's no doors. They already locked all that stuff and they painted over it. So it looks like it's all just a continuous landscape, a continuous environment, like this is it. This is all there is. And, you're looking around and then you're hearing everybody say, well, this is reality and this is life and this is that. And it seems to support what you're looking at. Because don't forget, you're young. What do you know, right? You're a blank slate. And every time somebody steps up to you and starts talking and telling you things, teaching you, showing you, demonstrating, they're actually writing on the pages of your mind. And unfortunately, more often than not, that ink winds up becoming indelible for many that fail to awaken from their sleepless slumber, let's say. But nonetheless, you're born into this environment, this illusionary unconsciousness that you're indoctrinated into forcibly, involuntarily, against your will, because you didn't ask for it. And that's it. So you have that from birth. And then you have age 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on you go to 10, 15. And that environment is still there. And it's still the same characters supporting the narrative, playing the role, being a part of that movie that keeps looping, because you're locked inside a little bubble. And there is never even a question inside you to ever even want to venture outside of it, because all you believe that there is what you are exposed to, what you're being shown, told, taught, experiencing, sensing, detecting, all of this. It all matches up perfectly. Because it's supposed to. It's supposed to seem like this is it. But look at the movie The Truman Show. I mean, they're telling you right in your face. You know what I mean? Just because you think this is the only thing there is doesn't mean that there's the only thing there is. It goes far beyond that. Way beyond that. That's what I'm saying. If you find yourself in a specific vibrational environment for any duration of time, it becomes the only reality there is, because there's nothing to contrast it. There's nothing in there that is countering this narrative, or attempting to cancel it out, or debate it, or refute it, or argue the point that what you're looking at is not the only thing. And as a matter of fact, it's not a good thing, because everything in there is only going to support your vibrational environment. And by your vibrational environment, I mean the one that was created by the system that they threw you in, like a prison. You see? And they're all going to be the same in there. All those characters are going to be the same. Every day you meet them and you greet them, you speak with them, it's going to be the same thing constantly. Like a loop. Just like a loop. Just like you're watching an old movie. Watching that old movie, they never grow old. They never say something different. They never venture outside that character or the role or the storyline or the plot. They're always wearing the same clothes. They're always the same age, saying the same thing. Because it's a rerun, it's a repeat, it's a loop. You can't watch a movie and have it change unless they have an updated special edition version or something with deleted scenes added and extended scenes. But I'm talking about a movie that is not touched. You know? It's always going to be the same. You can watch that movie when you're 5 years old and then come back when you're 95, and that movie has not changed at all. Nobody in there gets old. They don't die. They don't get sick. They always say the same thing, same clothes, same role, same dialogue, same everything. And that's what it is in the system. Why? Because change is a threat to a system of conformity and cyclical looping patterns, because patterns are predictable. When you begin to create new designs, that becomes the loose cannon and the bane of their existence, because then they can't control something that's unpredictable. Especially when you start meditating and you become an individual and you start isolating yourself away from that environment that you've always known as reality and the only reality there is. You start questioning, then you start disbelieving and not accepting what they're saying. So basically what you're doing is you're working your way outside something called a door that you didn't even know was there because they've been hiding it behind shrubbery and trees and leaves deep in the forest. It was hidden away from you, but there is a door. The same way in is the same way out. The point of ingress is the point of egress. In through the outdoor, out through the indoor, however which way you want to go with it. But that's the way it is. And the moment you realize there's a door, that's when you start to break away from this one-dimensional, linear, lateral, polarized mentality. Then they're going to look at you like you're a threat. There's one caveat about breaking the third-dimensional barrier. All of those characters inside that vibrational environment that you've only known as the only life there is, guess what? They're still going to remain behind, but you're going to carry on and move forward and rise higher. And they're going to look at you like you're now an enemy and you're crazy. You're going to be ostracized as a pariah and as a conspiracy theorist. You're going to lose a lot of people that you used to call your friends, but they were never your friends. These were acquaintances, faces you recognize. That's all they ever were. And that's all they're ever going to be. So, like I said, get used to occupying and residing in a brand new vibrational environment. Because if you stay the same, things stay the same and nothing changes. If nothing changes, nothing happens. If nothing happens, nothing moves. If nothing moves, nothing grows. And then you just remain sedentary, stagnant, static, and isolated, and dead. Just going through the motions. If you're going through the motions, you're not moving at all. Remember that. Move.